Hello everyone, my name is Smart, and in today's video I will teach you how to change the death sound in Roblox in your own game, and as well we will change some other default sounds. So let's begin. First of all, we need to run the game. So like here I have my empty suburban template, and what I do, I go to home and play. So let's wait until it's loaded, and boom, I'm here. Now, let's go to Start a Player folder in the Explorer, then Start a Player scripts, and here we should see RBX character sounds. And what I do is I select it, right click, and copy, or hotkey is Control C, or Command C on Mac. So I copied it, and now I can stop my game. The reason why I run the game is that if I go outside the game to my starter player folder, I will not see anything like that in my starter player scripts. So the script is only visible during the game. And now what we do is we paste this one into our starter player scripts folder. And here it is. And if we open it, we'll see many different lines of codes. But what we are really interested in is lines from 18 till 52. They have all the sound links that our game uses to play the necessary sounds in specific moments like climbing, dying, free falling, getting up, etc. And now our task is just to change these sounds and maybe some settings as well. So you can see that for died sound, for example, the only setting here is sound ID, while for example, for running, there is also looped setting that tells that these sounds should be looped while the character is running, and the pitch, which is basically the time scale, the speed of the sound. And yeah, now let's add some custom sounds to my game. When talking about the sounds in your Roblox game, you have several options how to make them. So the first and the easiest one is go to Toolbox. In Toolbox, you can select the audio section, and there you can search for any sound you need. For example, like let's search for death sound. And yeah, here you will have a lot of different sounds, and you just play them, and if you like one, you just right click, copy asset ID, and a little bit later I will show you where to put this ID. In my case, I already have some sounds prepared, so I've looked through the toolbox, found some sounds, and now I will use them. So, what you can do is you can just paste the ID to the code, but I want to have everything structured in my game. So what I will do is I will go to my replicated storage, create a folder there, let's name it sounds, and let's create a sound there. Okay, so now this sound is empty, and I can rename it to death. And let's create one more sound, and let's name it footsteps. Okay, and as I showed you before, I have these IDs, and now my task is just to copy footsteps ID, right click and copy it, or Control C, and then let's go to sound ID, paste, and boom. And same thing for that sound. So I go here, select, Control C, and paste it inside footsteps. Okay, so we have these sounds here, but how do we assign them inside this script? That's pretty easy. So what I do here is I assign some new variables. Let's create death sound ID, and it will be equal to game. Then we go to replicated storage folder, and then as not everything may be loaded from the beginning of the game, we use wait for child, so we'll wait until the sounds folder is loaded, and then we'll wait until the death object is loaded. And once it's loaded, we just assign its sound ID property, which basically gives us this RBX asset ID. Okay, I didn't paste it for some reason. Let's just Control C, yeah, paste it here, and boom. And yeah, footsteps is this one. I made a mistake. Good. Okay. Sound ID. And now we can just copy this line. Control C, Control V, and now we'll just change some keywords. So instead of death, we'll have footsteps. And we'll not look for death object, we'll look for these footsteps object. So yeah, replicated storage, sounds folder, and footsteps object. And there inside footsteps, there is sound ID. If you feel confusing with all these stuff, then I advise you to check my 1-hour tutorial about basics of Roblox. It will help you a lot, I swear. Good, so we created these two, and now here in died sound ID, I will erase the existing content and I will just go to my death sound ID. And about running, instead of this sound ID, I will put my footsteps sound ID. And let's run the game and check it out. And yep, it works. And what about the death sound? So, reset character. Wow, yeah, it played the sound I prefer. And what about the running? So, I may see one little problem here. Sound kinda works faster than the footsteps themselves. And the solution is pretty easy. If you remember, I told that for some sounds there are some specific settings. For example, if you check out the running, you will also see pitch, which basically stands for the time scale. So now it's 1.85. And the lower it is, the slower it is. So instead of 1.85, let's have it 1.1. So, if we now play the game, we'll see different result. Yeah, that's it. Another way to change the sound is to find the sound you like in the toolbox. For example, I may look for splash here in toolbox and find the sound I really like. Okay, the first one looks pretty cool, so I can do copy asset ID, and here in splash, instead of everything after 2 slashes, I can erase it. And then just Control V and paste this number that I copied from toolbox. But here, instead of RBX asset, I will use RBX asset ID. So as we define ID here. Yep. And yeah, we don't have any water here actually, but let's quickly solve it. So terrain editor, region, select, fill, water, fill. Yeah, okay. And now let's play here. Okay, we spawned. Okay, we need more water. Boom, here we are, and we did it. Yay. Okay. And the most difficult way to make sounds for your game is to find some unique sounds by yourself. And I will help you with it. To do this, we will need some special websites where we can find sounds that you can use without purchasing any license. So let's go. For example, you can go to mixkit.co, and here you can look for different categories. For example, Let's go to jump. Okay, I like the sound. Then you click download button and you have your sound downloaded. And then after you downloaded it in WAV format, you should go to some website to convert the file to MP3. For example, convertshow.co. And here I select WAV to MP3, choose files. Once my file is chosen, I click convert, wait until it's finished, hit download, and once it's downloaded, I can go to Asset Manager in my game, go to Audio, select Bulk Import, and just select the file there. I have an error because I've already installed this sound to my game, and what I do is I just copy asset ID, and for example, in my sounds folder, I can create a new sound. So let's do it like sound. Let's call it jump. Paste the sound ID. And in our script, in jumping, let's define a new variable. So local jump sound ID equals game.replicated storage, wait for child, sounds, wait for child, jump dot sound ID. Yep. And here, let's just define our jump sound ID. And let's check it out. And yep, we did it. So, if you have any questions, feel free to write them down to the comments section. I'll be glad to answer you. Hit the like button if you like the video and don't forget to subscribe. Future videos completely depend on your activity on this video. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.